Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Think Turkey. This is Muaz Haq, and today we have a very special guest on with us today, Mr. Noyan. Thank you very much for joining us today. And Mr. Noyan, let me introduce you first of all. So Noyan is a very good friend of mine, and he is also a accountant and solutions partner who I've been working with for quite some time now. And he's a certified public accountant. In Turkish, we call Mali Müşavir. So basically, he is the certified person to set up businesses, to manage them, manage the accounting and all those the bookkeeping and so on, and of course consulting as well, and for the foreign businesses who are coming here. So today we will have a very good interview, and we'll have some very good questions for Mr. Nayan today. So Mr. Nayan, how is everything? How are you today?
Yeah, thanks, Mas. Thank you. It's my pleasure for
Great.
everything. Thank you so much.
Great, excellent. Thank you so much for coming today. So, first of all, I would like to ask, for the viewers, they are really wondering about the. Let's give a general idea about the work permit, situation. Can you explain what is the work permit? Does it mean it's residence permit, and what is the current situation in Turkey about it for business owners who want to come here, establish their business, and get a residency or work permit for themselves?
Actually, work permit is the area is very popular area. We get question from all around the world and Turkish work permit. Now existing some existing criteria we have, and after New Year we have new implementations. These financial and employment criteria are changing. For existing criteria, we have mainly three different criteria. One is paid capital, one is employment criteria, net sales amount, and export amount. These are some of criteria.
Great. And these were the previous criteria was, I think, 5 people, right? We have to hire 5 people to be as a business owner, get the permit. Was there any other criteria also, like apart from 5 people? You said even there's other net profit. These are from before in the past also, or these are new?
Yes, your paid capital must be at least 100,000 lira, and you have to hire at least 5 employee, Turkish citizen employee you must have for getting work permit.
Okay,
For
perfect. For the existing criteria. Okay, perfect. That's good. And what about the business capital is 100,000 liras, and this is like pretty small, yeah? This is fine. I mean, 100,000 lira, we can deposit this. It's enough, like.
Yeah, it's enough, but people are generally mixing capital amount and paid capital amount. Like when you establish any company, any kind of legal entity, like limited company, joint stock company, whatever, when you go and sign your draft article of incorporation, it is capital commitment. Then you have to pay this capital to company in with bank account payment you have to make. Uh, for joint stock companies, at least 25% you have to pay to bank before going Chamber of Commerce and before registering your company. At least 25% of capital's payment is mandatory, but you can
Okay.
make more capital payment. And what this law about work permit criteria are saying, it's about paid capital, not capital, not.
Got it.
not.
Paid capital 100,000. Perfect. Thank you, Noan. Now we have some very exciting news for the viewers, which I know, and if we can get your help to explain the new announcement of the laws, which is like we can apparently what I have seen is that we can, I think, get a new residence permit without hiring, like work permit without hiring 5 people. Can you tell us about this new law? What is the new requirements for that?
The most important news about work permit differences, new implementation is about the people who are staying in Turkey for more than 3 years with their residency. Government will not look for any criteria for like financial criteria or employment criteria for this kind of people. If you are staying in Turkey for more than 3 years and it is your fourth year in 2025, Then, according to new implementation, you don't need, the government will not look for any financial criteria, any capital, paid
Oh,
capital, or sales amount or employment criteria. It will not be looked for your company. This is
okay.
the
That's a
biggest.
very good news. And
Yeah.
this, they can get the work permit on their name like that
Yes, yes, yes. On employer status, on your company, on employer status work permit.
as an employer. Okay.
And
What
also
about
for
the other one?
employee status work permit situation. For example, like I have a company, I want to hire any foreigner, non-Turkish citizens, then
Hmm.
normally for existing rules, I must have 5 employee.
Hmm.
Some exemptions we have legally for existing rules. I'm talking about tourism and education sector is
Hmm.
exempted for this rule for now, but I must have 5 Turkish employee at least. Then, as a sixth employee, now I can apply for work permit on employee status work permit. Like
Okay. But employer status, it's fine to get with the new rule,
no, no,
with the late
both is same, but foreigner must have 3 years of residency, legal
residency.
residency in Turkey. For
Okay.
3 or more years of residence, can get work permit, can apply work permit for both employee status and employer status.
Employees that both. Ah, perfect. Now it's clear.
Government will
Starting.
not look for any employment criteria and financial criteria for this kind of people.
Okay. What about the net profit, Noyan? You have to show 100K net profit or something. What was that?
It's actually, according to legislation, it's not and, it's or. Having
Mhm.
paid
And
capital or having sales amount, gross sales amount, or having export amount.
ah,
For example, like for paid capital, uh, for new regulation after new year, paid capital must be at least 500,000 lira, or
mhm.
it's not saying and, it's saying or your last year net sales amount must be at least 8 million lira,
8
or
million.
again, or it's saying like $150,000 export amount you must have, your company must have. One of them is enough for meeting financial requirements for company.
Okay, one of these. Okay,
One of
got it. So one of
Then
these is
for
enough.
newly established companies, just paid capital is a criteria. Like having 500,000 lira capital is one of the mandatory criteria. Uh,
Mhm.
then you have 6 months for hiring 5 Turkish employee, or if you will apply for TRC holders, 3 years or more TRC holders, there's no
Mhm.
5 Turkish employee after New Year in 2025.
Okay, so we talk about the previously established companies, and you mentioned the 8 million lira net income from the previous years, if
Net
they show
sales,
that.
yes.
Right, and then of sales, sorry, not net income, 8 million liras of sales from the last year of revenue, and then other option was export of amount of $150,000 if they can show. Uh, that was the two criteria, and the third one was
Paid
what
capital.
was paid capital of
Paid capital. Yeah, if your paid capital is less than $500,000, 500,000 lira for New Year, it's okay if you have more than 8 million lira sales amount.
okay, got
If
it,
you
got it,
don't
got
have
it.
8 million lira sales amount, then if you have $550,000 export amount is okay. It
Is okay.
substitutes each other.
Oh, perfect. Got it. Got it. Got it. What about the new company then? You were saying about the new companies now. What is the new requirement for the brand new?
For newcomers and for newly established companies, let's say you don't have residence permit for more than 3 years. You
Mhm.
just came to Turkey and you just received your residency card in Turkey.
Mhm.
Your paid capital should be at least 500,000 lira for one partner company. I'm talking about like it's
Sure.
per partner. 500,000 lira paid capital you have, and of course you don't have any financials like from previous years because your company is newly established.
It's new.
For
Right.
6 months, it's not mandatory for you to hire 5 employees. You are not responsible for hiring 5 employees for 6 months.
Only 6 months.
Only
After
six.
that,
After that, government will look for five Turkish employee criteria for you. Then, of course, for the next financial years, next fiscal years, some financial criteria will exist for you, like 8 million lira. Oh, but if your capital is 500,000 lira or more,
uh-huh.
okay, it's enough for financial criteria. But
Okay, so
after 6 months, you have to hire five Turkish employee. If you are newcomer, if you are not TRC holder, Turkish
right,
residence
right.
for more than three
Yeah,
years.
but what about the $100,000 capital if I have, and as a new company, not old TRC holder, then I don't need to hire anyone. Like I just can do that and
Yes,
it's enough.
it's a
Isn't it true?
new, yes, it's true that according to new regulation, new implementation, you are exempted from hiring five
Hiring
employee if your paid capital is more than 100,000 lira,
doesn't
uh,
dollars,
$100,000, sorry.
dollars.
But
But we
it's
don't
paid,
know sorry,
but it is paid capital generally.
paid
People
capital.
mixed with capital and paid capital.
Hmm.
There are some differences. You need to pay this capital to, you need to block this money to company bank account.
Got it, got it. You need to pay this. But we can use this money for our for our capital expenses like buying equipment,
Yeah, sure.
renting the
It's
office,
company's money. It's
company's money.
company's money. After
Can,
paying this capital to your company bank account, then kept it's company's money anymore. When you withdraw this money, when you use this money for your personal expenditures, it's a kind of debt relationship between company and you as a shareholder
not
company.
for the personal, but if I use it for the company itself, renting the office, buying the
Yeah,
furnitures for
of
the
course, of
office,
course, of
it's
course.
not, it's normal, right? This is
Yeah,
fine.
it's normal. It's normal. Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's a very good news, Noyan. Thank you for sharing that. I think this is a very positive news. But I think me and you talk about this before as well. The implementation is we didn't see that yet. So I would like to also tell
Ex-
the viewers if you can share.
Exactly. Exactly.
wh-
Like governments, depending on government's policy, your application can be rejected as only as not that much institutional level. If okay, you
Mhm.
meet this requirement, but it can be rejected depending on your business area, depending on your company activity, what you are doing, and what kind of business model you have, depending on government's policy, economic policy.
Policy
It's
is yet to
oh,
be
it
seen.
can be rejected also. Like
So we cannot be sure right now until the new system is already launched in 2025, if I'm right, if the beginning of
yes,
2025, then we can advise the clients that it's like 100% launched, that how is the situation. But for now, they can start getting ready for this good news, I
yes,
guess.
sure,
What do you think?
sure. Of course, government's policy is changing. That's why, of course, they issued new law. But first, better to see. Of course, better to see
Yes.
implementation and on practice decisions.
What and Noyan, what advice do you have for foreign businesses who would like to come to Turkey and they would like to set up their offices here? They are, let's say, good businesses outside in other countries, let's say in the subcontinent or in Europe or let's say in Africa. They want to do business here and set up their office here. Um, any tips you can give them to, generally speaking, how they should, which areas or how they should go about it?
Yeah, the main advantage of Turkey is about logistic. Like it's close to all around the world, and whoever I'm observed until today that they use this advantage. Like you can make your transit trade, you can purchase some product. It's a kind of logistic headquarter, a logistic center of the world. We have logistic advantage,
Mhm.
and rules are not that much strict. Like you can easily come here, establishing company with your passport is easy.
Mhm.
Bureaucracy is not that much hard comparing with some countries. Uh, these are the advantages of Turkey. Like, of course, for work permit, we have new policy.
Slight.
will be the new advantage for us, but we
Right,
have
right.
existing advantages.
And then the tech companies will have a, I think in the new law they mentioned that tech companies will be a little bit advantage for that. Would
Yes.
you like to share about that too? Like what is that meaning? Like what kind of tech companies? Like software or
Yeah, software and like
IT?
generally IT startup companies for generally IT startup companies have many advantage for new issued work permit law and work permit rules. It will be there will be no any financial criteria, not any employment criteria.
Wow.
You prove yourself that you are in this business, you are IT professional and you want to invest in Turkey.
Right.
Getting residence permit for your family is getting easier. Getting work permit will be so easier, and many government incentives normally for benefiting government incentive
Wow.
is very you will have many advantage about that.
For
And
that.
we have normally we have a technopark. We call technopark. We have some.
Yes.
It's a kind of free zone for IT companies. IT companies free
Oh,
zone. It's like this. Some private
right.
areas exist. You will have privilege for getting office in these areas. Then this technopark areas have VET exemption, many government exemption for
Mhm.
newcomers. A new
What
implement.
what about the income taxes? For income tax exemption also they have a little bit or for the first year or something?
Some many
Some
government
of
exemptions exist. Many government
okay.
exemptions exist for
That's a
social.
very good news. That's a very good news, guys. You heard it from Noyan already, the CPA, that they are like Turkey is attracting tech startups. So if you are trying to set up a tech startup, then Turkey is inviting these people to come here and a legitimate tech startup, of course, a proper one with a good business plan and everything. Of course, the government will review that to make sure that it's like real one. And then those people will have much advantages for coming, getting the permits and so on. It will be easier. So that's very good news, though. And thank you for sharing that. So we have the tech startups. What about manufacturing as well? I believe this is a good point as well to mention that if somebody wants to set up manufacturing here, do you think there are areas that they can do that easily?
Manufacturer companies are every time is more than welcome to Turkey. We like yes, we have many government exemption, especially in free zone, and of course having machines, having the industrial registration certificate, investing in manufacturing has many advantages, both about commercial side and about residency and work permit side. Is for existing law also.
Thank you so much, Nan, for coming on today for the call. I hope that you guys watching will find this useful. And if you are planning to set up your company, set up your tech startup, your manufacturing startup, bring your business here as a foreign office here, or trying to do any sort of business in Turkey, feel free to get in touch with us, and we can help you and guide you. Thank you once again, Noyan, for joining today,
Thank you.
and see you hopefully the next time.